Buonasera, good evening to everyone. I'm here joined by Guldborg from the NLC. Hello, Guldborg, how are you doing?
Absolutely amazing. How about yourself?
I'm very good, thanks for asking. So, since many of our watchers probably don't know you very much, go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, I'm Guldborg. I'm the caster of the Northern League Championship, and I've been a caster for approximately 2 years, following the Scandinavian countries very closely.
Yeah, and I hear you guys got a bit of action happening in the NLC lately, but we're gonna get to that. First of all, I want to talk a bit about UMaster, since it's coming up. It's coming up real short. So we already locked one of our teams. As you know, Makers got their access to the final last week. Did you happen to see that match?
I was casting. Unfortunately, I really wanted to watch it. I highlighted it on the NLC as well, or the LEC as well, just because I thought it was so hype. But I already knew a lot of the players coming in from Makers. Doxy, Taxa had all played previously in the NLC, and then Gooby, who was on the Samsung Morningstars last year when they were on that amazing new Masters run. I know he's a really good AD carry. I actually used to coach him in the past. His first team, I was his coach on, so he's a really close friend of mine, and I know he's an absolute beast of an AD carry.
Yeah, absolutely. And the best thing probably about Makers is that Gooby is probably he isn't even the best performing member on that team. So we know we can expect big things from them at UMasters. How do you guys over at the NLC look at Makers coming into the competition?
I look at Makers and I was like, damn, I wish this was an NLC team, just because like they have the requirements for it, but also like they're so good, and I actually think they're one of the teams that can contest these academy teams. When I look at Makers play, I'm actually looking at a team who's actually having a thought process about the game. When you trade objectives, when you have different lanes you want to play for, and when you actually have different styles you can play for, you don't necessarily always have to have a weak side bot lane. You can play strong side top lane sometimes for Doxy as well, and I think it's this agency you can get from across multiple lanes and the jungler that can be really scary about Makers.
Yeah, we really can't wait to see them finally face off against some of your teams. Maybe we'll get to see that at UMaster. But today we're gonna be locking our second team going into UMasters. Of course, only the finals will tell you which one will go to the playing stage and which one will go to the group stage. But we're about to see a series between Samsung Morningstars and Matchko Esports. Personally, I think the top three in the PG Nationals has been very close this year. I still have really no close idea to who's gonna win this series. What do you think about these teams?
Yes, I thought for sure when Mako picked the SMS in the beginning of the winners bracket that SMS would lose, but they came in clutch with that huge upset. And I think towards this next game, SMS had looked a bit more in form, I'd say, in playoffs. Yes, they lost the two first games against Makers, but I gotta say it takes a lot to try and pull off in a reverse sweep, and they almost did it. So I think like the bot lane from SMS is surely something you need to be careful of. PlayStation, I think he's been an absolutely amazing playmaker as well. So I'm giving a small edge from SMS just by taking a look at last time these two teams played against each other, and also for my, of course, brethren, Danish countrymen in PlayStation.
Yeah, of course, no Danish bias here. Absolutely not.
Not at all.
So I guess we know where your favor lies. Before we say goodbye, tell us a bit about your ERL, since as I said, there are so many interesting teams in the NLC. So now that we're gonna probably be facing some of you guys at UMasters, are there any teams we should look out for? Are there any players we should look out for?
I mean, the best time to tune in and find out will be tomorrow, because we have Fnatic Rising playing against BTXL, and those are probably the two powerhouse teams in our league. We got new talent coming in, but we also have veterans such as Arome and Febevin, guys who's played on the world stage, so most certainly something you want to tune into. We only have 4 teams left, so we're also in the last run of playoffs, so definitely something you should check out if you want to test our skill level or just find out how we actually look.
Yeah, it's going to be a great look. You mentioned before, Gooby, you actually coached him. Well, we can take a little bit of pride in Orome. He went through the PG Nationals. He went through outplayed on their legendary EU Masters run that no team so far has been able to replicate. But I hope this time, this is the right year. I believe in. I believe in.
Yeah, for sure. I think like Italy has definitely looked like one of the stronger regions, or not stronger, but like one really strong underdog region coming into this one. And I think it's most certainly something that you cannot underestimate, or else we're just going to see the same thing that happened last year with Samsung Morningstars taking games of Schalke, taking games of LDLC. So for sure, look out for Italy.
Well, thank you so much for your kind words. It was a really fun chat having with you. I'll be sure to come see you cast and analyze some of your teams so I can tell our teams how to beat you best. But I'm sure we'll see you at EU Masters, man.
Thank you so much, and you too.